And hello good people of the internet, it is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode I want to talk a bit about the Halloween 47's birthday anniversary ritual thing. So welcome to the new office. We eventually moved in. Well, I'm about 95% moved in. I still have a couple of boxes behind me in the blurry background that hopefully you can't see, that need unpacking and a few bits and pieces have to do. So thank God we're in. That was a long journey, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Now, I have to apologise in advance for the next couple of videos that I assume won't be great in the quality-wise or whatever, because it'll take me a while just to get used to the different kind of dynamics of recording videos in this place. So the sound might be a bit off, the colours might be a bit off, the focus might be a bit off, things might be a bit off, but please bear with me while I get it all together. But as you can see, the quality should be somewhat good because I'll be able to now use the DSLR at the 35mm lens with the 1.8, which gives that kind of a bit more cinematic background. I'm also using the lapel mic and all of these things. So outdoors it'll be the DJI Pocket Osmo, and indoors it'll be the DSLR. That's the plan anyway, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, apart from all of that, what's happening in the next couple of weeks, or about 10 days from now as I record this, is that we will be doing the 47th Halloween birthday anniversary ritual. Now, this is for the most part open just to patrons, and I know that kind of is a kind of a, when people, if you're not a patron, that kind of feels a bit like as if you're being excluded, but it's not in a sense. I have to give people something back for supporting me. I think that's fair, and these are the type of things that I can do. But I also don't ever want people to think that you have to give me money or you have to spend money to use the 47s in any way, because that's not the case. There's a link I will put in the show description that shows you how you can use the 47 completely for free. So it's always for free. There's always, you know, everyone is totally open to use these things whatever way they can, whatever means they have. If you want to buy the deck, the books, the old cards, join up Patreon, brilliant. But you don't have to. So don't feel that this is it's a hard sell. But I also, when people do give me money, or do support me, or in some way, I want to be able to give something back. So while this is mostly going to be for patrons, there is an alternative, there is a non-patron version of it that you can do, a DIY version of it that you can do yourself. So it's, if you're not a patron, just stick around, you know, you will hopefully get something from this. So before we get into this, what I want to talk a bit about is my kind of mindset of going into the 47s. I had been doing comics and art for a long while, and that was kind of my passion. It was coming out of having done sound engineering and wanting to be a rock star, and how that had gone south and how I'd got really depressed out of that, and had been, as I ended up being a sound engineer when I wanted to be a rock star, and I hated it, and it was just kind of, just a bad time. There was lots going on, and I kind of decided that when was I the most happiest? That was when I was doing art and when I was doing comics when I was younger. So I said, I'm either going to be the sound engineer for the rest of my life, or I'm going to quit and I'm going to do the thing I love. So I did that whole thing, and I did it for a number of years, whatever, and it wasn't really going anywhere. Like, I had some successes, but not really any kind of monetary success, and I had no way of kind of really keeping going on it long term. Like, you can kind of drain your resources to a point, and then you can't go any further. And I had that whole kind of bitterness around me that I said, but I followed my passions, I followed my bliss, and the universe didn't just show up and go, here's your treasure, here's your riches, here's your reward. And so I'd come to the end of that, and I was kind of going, well, I've probably enough money and resources for one last kind of hurrah. And didn't want to do a comic because I knew where that kind of went, and I kind of said all I wanted to say around comics at the time. Although I have some ideas for a comic now. And I said, well, what would I like to do? And I said, I would love to do a deck, and I'd love to do some magical instrument that I could use that would be for me, you know, very selfishly, just for me, cater to my aesthetics, to my needs, my wants, and put that together. And the idea would be that I would have a cool tool, magical tool, to then enter the real world with and get on with the rest of my life, where, you know, you get the job that, you know, get the real job, not the kind of job that you want, the artistic type thing. So I thought, I'll spend the last couple of months, spend all my resources doing this thing, and then I'll go out into the real world, into the cold, and you know, have my shitty life. And so that's what the 47s were. And what I expected was I would release it to the world. couple of people, a handful of people would be interested in it, and then after a couple of weeks that it would just, that would be end. The momentum would be done, and I'd sail off or walk off into the sunset. But that didn't happen. It became very popular very quick, relatively popular. Like, I mean, it's not world shattering, whatever, and I never wanted to be that. And just to interject here, people are always sending me ideas on how I could, make it much more popular, or I could, do all these things. And I don't want that. That's not what I want. It's exactly at the level I'm comfortable with and want it to be around. I don't want it to be the next big, like the Seekers Round the Burn or some sort, or the Wild Unknown Tarot, something huge like that. I don't want that. It's not something I want for my life or for the 47s, and that's neither here nor there. So, where was I? Yeah, so on Halloween 3 years ago, I gave birth to the 47s, and that just means I breathed life into them, or I activated them as servitors, and then a couple of weeks later they're actually released as a deck. And it's kind of a testament to how little I thought people would be interested in that the original PDF that came with it, the free thing, was terrible. It was like written in 2 weeks. It was just shambled together, just in a kind of, well, I better do something for, the couple of people who are going to buy this. Which is why then a couple of months later it was all rewritten, reworked into the Grimoire. But the actual birthing of it is something then that we do as a ritual then, to kind of echo back to that every year. There is a box, and sitting on my altar over there, that houses the original artwork that I printed out to give birth to the servitors, to activate them. And every year I open it up and we put it in some goals that we want to do for the year as a kind of a big kind of big goals for the year, with the kind of idea that once the box is closed you can't take it back. That's what your kind of goal for the year is going to be. People found it very successful, have been very successful from it, and found it very helpful. I certainly have. This kind of, because you have to really think about something. If you're going to put something in that you can't take back, you have to really think about, is it something I want? Is this what I want? And so it's the first year I had it open to everyone, and I said, just anyone can send a line in, and we'll stick it in. And people sent paragraphs and stuff, and I was going, no, it has to be just a line because there's too many. And people, as seems to be, that you give people an inch and they definitely demand a mile, which is fine. It's human nature. That's how it is. And then for the last year, I just opened it to patrons, and again, it's just a sentence, and it's still got a couple of times word, a couple of paragraphs, to be expected. This year, it's just a sentence. Don't be sending paragraphs. And the extra rule I'm going to have, if you send a paragraph, I'm just taking the first line of the paragraph, of the first paragraph. So make sure that's the most important thing. So to patrons, what I'm asking you now to do is send me in your line, one sentence of your goal for the year that I will print out, put into on a piece of paper, nice piece of paper, and put it into the 47s box, the housing box that has the original 47s, to manifest for you over the next year. I'll also take out the one from last year, and I'll have a look at see how I did, and you all should know what you had in for last year, whatever. That's part of a bigger ceremony kind of ritual that I do on Halloween night for the 47s that I'll also show a bit of on Patreon. I don't kind of put it too much out on the 47 or on the YouTube channel or the 47 Facebook group, but I'll put a bit. But I do my own kind of a thing, which as open as I try to be with all of these kind of all this kind of stuff. There's some stuff that I have to keep personal and private, and to be silent about and all that. But anyway, what if you're not a patron? What can you do? Well, what you can do is you can make your own time capsule box, and people did this last year and found it very successful. So you don't have to be part of the actual 47s box thing. You can do your own dedicated box to the 47s, putting in your own wishes, goals for the year that you would like the 47s to help with, or these archetypes to help with. And I would suggest putting it in a box, or burying it, or putting it somewhere that you can't open it, can't get at for a year, and make a big deal out of that ritual, that you're putting it into the ground, say, if you do decide to bury it, so that it will grow over the year. And don't touch it for the year. And then have an equal next year at the ceremony at Halloween, have the opening up and putting in the new, your new wish for the year and that kind of thing. So, what if you don't believe in the kind of the magic element of it, or the woo-woo of it? What's the point of this? Well, I always like to try and bring it back for people who are skeptical, or people who just don't go with the woo-woo, because there's a lot of time where I don't go with the woo-woo, or I don't find it helpful, or it doesn't help my brain to engage to just in what seems at those times kind of airy-fairy kind of ideals. So what could you, coming up with an idea or coming up with a desire for the year is a great idea, and it's better than doing it, I think, on January the 1st, because everyone's doing it and it's so easy just to get away from it and to stop doing it, whatever. And Halloween seems to be, while the veil is kind of lowered again, woo-woo, so you don't have to go with that, but it seems like a good kind of time to do this, to kind of encapsulate in your idea, in your mind, what you want for the next year. And then locking it away or putting it away in the ground or whatever it is, means that you have to really think about it. There's no comeback on it. There's no kind of way that you can change your mind halfway through. So you have to be very certain and very kind of sure about, is this what you want? Now, the symbology of putting it in the ground and letting it grow works whether you're into woo-woo or not. Like, we are symbolic creatures and we enjoy doing things like that, and we certainly work a lot using symbolism. So there is that element of it. While it touches on the woo-woo, that isn't necessarily full woo-woo. You can understand the kind of symbolism behind it. So I think it's worth doing even from a skeptical point of view, or a non-woo-woo point of view, or a non-magic point of view. Of course, these things should work whether we believe in them or not, which is kind of probably not a thing that a chaos magician would say, in that the belief is the tool and all that. But not always. You can get around it in different ways, and that even if you are skeptical, doing the actions does seem to have a kind of a momentum to them as well. But anyway, besides all the point, you'll approach this in whatever way is most suitable for you. And so yeah, that's it. So if you're a patron, send me, private message me on Patreon, or email me or message me wherever you want, and I'll put this list together, or this page together. If you're not a patron, then start thinking about what you want your ritual to look like yourself, and go from there. So I will be doing the big ritual on Halloween, where I'll put up the time that I'll be doing it, and you're all welcome to join in on the mass energy of that, because it'll be, rather than just the intentions for the year, the ritual will be to re-empower the 47s, to give attention, to give a global kind of thank you or gratitude or whatever. And what I usually ask people to do if they want to join in on the great 47 ritual is do something nice for someone else that doesn't benefit you at all. All of these other things that we do with the 47s are usually, for the most part, something that benefits us. So do something to honour the 47s that is for other people's benefits, not your own. Like, that's not to say it's more noble or anything. It's just, it's an idea. It's a different way to approach. You have the whole rest of the year, and you have your whole other part of the ritual that's just for you. But let's incorporate doing something good for someone else. And then, you can add in your gratitude. You can add in all of these things you want. So I hope that is clear. If it's not clear, there will be a post on Adventures in Woo Woo that will talk about all of this, and that will have all the details and links and all of that. And that'll be in the show description below, and some of all the things you need will be in the show description below. So if my rambling isn't coherent enough, then there is the other places where you can find out. And it'll be in the 47th Facebook group, and I'll talk about it in the Adventures in Woo Woo Discord. All of those links are below. So, good people of the internet, one last thing before I go. The 47 decks will be on sale for the entire duration of this kind of Halloween period. So, and they probably won't be on sale again until the beginning of the new year. So if you're thinking about getting a Christmas gift, or something you want for Christmas or the holidays, now would be the time to get that. That also includes, the time for shipping and all of these things. So this is the kind of last sale of this year, if that's something that interests you. So, good people of the internet, I hope that the quality has been okay as the first proper video from the office, and it'll only get better, hopefully. And please do join me on the 47's ritual as we do it this year, and do your own ritual. And if you're a patron, thank you very much. We'll talk more about it in Patreon, and we'll get all of these things put together. So, good people of the internet, until our next adventure, be well.